It appears that the stream has officially begun.
Yes, it does.
Hey, maybe we should open these with that cool "we'll be right back" card so that when people are coming in, we don't spend a whole bunch of time talking about pointless garbage while waiting for them.
Are you telling me you don't like talking about pointless garbage?
Well, I love talking about pointless garbage, but I don't know, maybe if just Darth Dawkins was here, we would have a fun time before the show starts.
I think this entire show and all shows ever made are complete garbage.
Yeah.
Let's not just generalize, guys. Let's keep it real.
All shows are complete garbage.
That's right.
Except for Psych. That's the best show.
Why do you gotta throw in a monkey wrench into this nice machine?
Because I like throwing monkey wrenches. Fuck off.
I like Twin Peaks.
Yes,
That's
you
a
do.
really good show. I think you're wrong, Chris. I don't think all shows are garbage.
Every show
Everybody
Chris
has
watches,
an opinion.
Every show Chris watches is garbage.
Well, I've seen Psych,
Every show Chris watches is garbage.
and because of you, I've seen Psych more than other shows, and more than once.
Why? Why have
So
you
out of-
watched-
I play a lot of Psych.
He does. Does.
What happened to Frasier?
It stopped.
Yeah, it could have kept going though.
Probably. For some amount of time. But so could Friends.
Look, Friends is a garbage show in
Friends is a great
comparison.
show.
No. If Friends is the standard for what a show is, then Chris's statement is right. All shows are
All
garbage.
shows are garbage.
No.
Sorry.
Friends is a great show.
Media, just media in general is garbage.
I think everything anyone does is garbage.
Exactly.
I don't care about the adventures of Ross and Rachel and Jimmy.
What? Chandler and Joey and Monica and Phoebe.
Yeah, Joey, not Jimmy.
Man, you must have watched that show too many
Billion times.
Well, I will tell you that
How to
Niles
Be a Shitty
Crane
New
is
Yorker.
a lot funnier than all those people combined.
He is really not.
Yeah, he is.
How about
Maris is funnier than all those people.
Oh my God.
the show
And she's never even on
Frasier
the screen.
has some good writing. I don't know about the actors' opinions, but the writers for that show were better than the writers for Friends.
Yeah.
And it's all still garbage, so don't worry about it.
All right. So what do we have today, guys?
Well, today's our 7-Eleven episode.
Yes, it's our gas station episode.
Our gas station episode.
What does that mean?
Well, that means we're covering Exodus chapters 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11.
Yep.
Because today
7-Eleven.
we're covering all the plagues.
Yes, all the plagues. We decided that it would be better if we just covered them all at once.
Since they're
Yep.
related.
Yeah.
It'd be weird if we went, and next time more plagues, I guess.
Yeah.
But
I
not
agree.
the whole time, just the first 2 chapters.
Yeah.
So instead we have this semi-special. I mean, I don't think we're considering
There's
it
nothing
special.
special about it.
We're just
Garbage.
doing a lot.
It's just garbage.
We're just reading about some plagues.
Okay. So basically this is going to be a long one.
Yeah.
Everybody, make your popcorn, invite your friends,
Yes.
family,
Don't forget.
extended family.
Especially your extended family. We'd love to meet your extended family.
I want to know your cousins, Captain.
And
He
make
just
sure you
says,
guys
"Hey."
talk in the chat. We like when people talk in the chat.
Yeah. And make sure you give us money. We like it when you give us money.
Wow, way to say it.
Yeah. Well,
It
we're
must be done.
atheists. We don't believe in morality.
Yeah.
Right.
We have no
Have we
moral
just
compass.
decided to completely indulge in the overgeneralizations placed upon atheists?
That's
Well,
okay.
whatever. We read from the Satanic Bible already.
That was you. I don't want to do that.
I did it too.
Well, he's the one that casts the destruction spell.
Yeah, that's his bad. All right, so starting.
In my defense, I don't think it's gonna work.
in your,
Probably not.
in your
probably
defense, something's going to be destroyed at some point anyways.
Yeah, but I don't
Maybe-
think it had anything to do with the spell.
Oh,
Yeah.
how little you know. No.
Well, anyways, starting with Exodus chapter 7. And the Lord said unto Moses, See, I have made thee a god to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Thou shalt speak all that I command thee, and Aaron thy brother shall speak unto Pharaoh that he send the children of Israel out of his land. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and multiply my signs and my wonders in the land of Egypt. But Pharaoh shall not hearken unto you, that I may lay my hand upon Egypt, and bring forth mine armies, and my people, the children of Israel, out of the land of Egypt by great judgments. And the Egyptians shall know that I am the Lord, when I stretch forth mine hand from Egypt, and bring out the children of Israel from among them. So basically,
He says this again.
well, what he's saying is he's purposely making it more difficult
Yeah.
so that he can make a show of force and convince people that he's God.
Right,
Yeah.
but this is literally just a repeat of...
Well, no, it was like
is
With-
this-
I know that there was the summary pretty much of
Yeah.
like God saying, "Hey, this is all gonna happen," and now He's saying, "This is happening now."
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it's He's hardening his heart.
For the purpose of eventually doing more and more harm.
Yes, and He's like, He's not gonna listen to you because I made him not listen to you, and we're gonna punish him for that.
And it's going to be dope, and all your
And
people
my
are going
sock
to be
puppets
like,
are
wow,
gonna be
this
like,
is the coolest God. I'm going to be the most popular God at God High School. Ooh.
So much edge and drama in my universe.
Oh, you know what was a good movie?
No,
What?
What was Sky High?
Sky High?
that wasn't
Yeah.
very good.
I
What-
loved it.
What's
I
Sky
thought it
It
was
was a
okay.
superhero movie.
It's a super. Was
You-
it
you
like
go-
a high school superhero movie?
Yeah,
Wow.
where you go to school in the sky
Um,
to become a superhero.
and Moses and Aaron did as the Lord commanded them.
Right, they're
So
sock
did they.
puppets. So the sock puppets are fighting now.
Yeah,
Isn't
basically.
that great?
It is a puppet show.
It's a
I mean,
puppet
he's
show.
already been like, this is what's going to happen. He
Yeah.
knows the future, so fuck it.
I know.
And Moses was 80 years old, and Aaron 83 years old, when they spake unto Pharaoh. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, When Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, Show a miracle for you, then thou shalt say unto Aaron, Take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments.
Mine says there's secret arts.
Mine also says they're secret arts.
That's cooler.
For they cast down every man his rod, and they became serpents. But Aaron's rods swallowed up their rods.
Oh.
So, hey, at least their they admit that the Egyptian magic stuff works.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not like, oh, it's bullshit. Yeah, but
So everyone has sorcerers.
So here's right now. Oh, just read the next part, and then I'll talk
well,
about
well, I think that this is the first specific mention of like wizards.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah. And that's cool.
it. Sorcerers.
Sorcerers.
And
Mine says
magicians.
wise men and
My
sorcerers.
staff is bigger than your staff, and it works.
Yeah. Well, that's basically what just happened.
I know.
Well, my staff's gonna eat your staffs.
Right.
I don't think Chris gets the joke.
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
And he hardened Pharaoh's heart, that he hearkened not unto them, as the Lord had said.
As the Lord had said, as the Lord did.
Yeah, I mean, and was going to do anyway.
Yeah.
And the Lord said unto Moses, Pharaoh's heart is hardened, he refuseth to let the people go. Get thee unto Pharaoh in the morning. Lo, he goeth out unto the water. Lo, he goeth out unto the water. And thou stand by the river's brink against he come, and the rod which was turned to a serpent shalt thou take in thine hand. And thou shalt say unto him, The Lord God of the Hebrews hath sent me unto thee, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou wouldest not hear. Oh, that's so terribly phrased.
Hitherto thou hast not hearkened, is what mine says.
That's so much better.
Wait. Hold on.
Yes, hitherto
which
is
verse?
one word.
16.
Yeah.
And you shall say to him, The Lord, the God of the Hebrews, sent me to you, saying, Let my people go, that they may serve me in the wilderness. But so far you have not obeyed.
Mine says, And behold, hitherto thou wouldst not hear. I like hearkened.
Mine says, Let my people go, and they may serve me in the wilderness. And behold, hitherto thou hast not hearkened.
I'm going to say that more often.
Thus saith the
Hitherto
Lord.
thou hast not hearkened.
Yeah.
Okay, you do that.
Well, hitherto thou hast not hearkened.
You did it. Look at you.
Yep. Thus saith the Lord, In this thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Behold, I will smite with the rod that is in mine hand upon the waters which are in the river, and they shall be turned to blood.
You know what's interesting? This one specifies the Nile.
Huh, mine does
Well,
not.
it would be the Nile.
It would be the Nile,
Yeah.
but I just find it interesting that
Mhm.
this one doesn't and this one does.
And the fish that is in the river shall die, and the river shall stink, and the Egyptians shall loathe to drink of the water of the river. And the Lord spake unto Moses, Say unto Aaron, Take thy rod, and stretch upon thine hand upon the waters of Egypt, upon their streams, upon their rivers, and upon their ponds, and upon all their pools of water, that they may become blood.
You know, that'll just kill him in 3 days.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Well, yeah, they just said that they wouldn't drink out of it.
Yeah.
So you need water.
And that there may be blood throughout all the land of Egypt, both in vessels of wood and in vessels of stone.
Okay, so there's just no water left. They're gonna die. Everybody's gonna die.
Yeah, this
Realistically.
Realistically, yes. Everyone would die.
Yeah, but they have sorceries.
Yeah, they have sorcerers. They can cure that with their sound magic. Okay. And Moses and Aaron did so as the Lord commanded. And he lifted up the rod and smote the waters that were in the river in the sight of Pharaoh, and in the sight of his servants, and all the waters that were in the river were turned to blood. And the fish that was in the river died, and the river stank, and the Egyptians could not drink of the water of the river, and there was blood throughout all the land of Egypt.
So,
And the magicians of Egypt did so with their enchantments. And Pharaoh's heart was hardened, neither did he hearken unto them as the Lord had said.
So, interesting thing. I mean, turning all those water vessels that are like concealed and, you know, other people's houses and stuff into blood would be ridiculous. But
Yeah.
the idea of turning water into blood and killing all the fish and stuff and making it foul is actually pretty reasonable. You could just there are types of salt that will turn the river red.
If fishes die, it starts to stink. We live right by the fucking lake.
Right.
And we
Yes,
know what
Lake
that's like.
Michigan is worse than this situation.
Oh, what we got here?
I have no idea.
I can't even read from here.
Well, good. Because
Yeah.
it's just stuff.
It's just stuff.
It's just stuff.
Okay.
Older to newer English language versions. Speaks just interpret without justifying the meaning of words. Well, I mean, it's not just translation, it's transliteration. Like, this is a transliteration of an English translation, right? And it's meant to basically be presented in the parlance of our times, the one that Lawrence has. The King James one was written a long time ago, and it was meant to follow the parlance of their times. And probably we couldn't understand the spoken English if we heard someone from that period
Yeah, we'd be
reading
very
out of
confused.
this.
We might get the gist.
Maybe.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, so the magicians of Egypt also show off their magic powers. And
Yes,
they're
they
like,
do.
haha, we can do all this too. And Pharaoh turned and went into his house. Wait. So you're telling me that Jesus turning water into wine is considered a miracle, but Moses and Aaron turning all of the water in Egypt into blood and killing all of the fish is not considered miraculous in the same way? And furthermore, that they have magicians, tons of magicians
That can just do the same
that
thing.
can do the same thing. So, like, all Jesus' miracles,
Who's the style at the time?
is there just a bunch of Egyptian magicians out there who can do all those things?
No, they
anyway?
died in these plagues.
Like, what's the point of worshiping a Messiah based off of his miracles if the same miracles can be
Done by Egyptian magicians.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he can do anything they can do better.
But there's more of them, and they, like,
Yes, he can.
presumably they would study it, right? I mean, if you're a bunch of magicians and sorcerers, you would have some codified... I mean, the Egyptian magic system is all written down and shit. So, I mean, presumably, eventually, they would be better than Jesus as a unified effort.
Yeah, but Jesus is the Son of God.
Reverse dog? That guy's great.
Yeah, obviously a great guy, as is demonstrated by this book
This
here.
thing he wrote through us somehow. That doesn't make sense.
I bet they could feed, like, millions of people with one loaf of bread.
Probably, they just
These
never did.
Egyptian magicians.
Yeah.
You know, where were they during the Joseph
During
thing?
Right, during the fucking
Famine.
famine there.
Yeah.
That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for.
Well, many generations have passed, an arbitrary amount of time, enough so that the other generations were forgotten.
And the thing is, we just kind of bounced to Moses and Aaron being in their 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that just be the best for readers of a book that you're just writing a book and then suddenly it's 40 years later and there's no explanation
It doesn't
or
even
transition.
say 40 years later.
No, it
It's-
just said they're 80 now.
Yeah.
And they're at a supermarket and Joe sees some oranges he likes.
They're trying
and it's
to
like, this
decide
is-
between
what?
tangerines
and clementines
Yeah.
or something. Yeah. Exactly. It's very arbitrary. I don't know how we get here.
And Pharaoh turned and went into his house, neither did he set his heart to this also. And all the Egyptians digged around the river for water to drink, for they could not drink of the water of the river. And 7 days were fulfilled. After that, the Lord had smitten the river. So that's the end of that one. But that's the plague. He turned the water to blood
For 7 days.
For 7 days.
And then he had struck the Nile. Does that mean he turned it back?
I guess.
Okay, well, let's keep going.
Smitten.
Well, wouldn't everything be dead if all of the water had been turned to blood?
Yes.
For 7 days, everything would be dead.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go into Pharaoh and say to him, Thus says the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. But if you refuse to let them go, behold, I will plague all your country with frogs. The Nile shall swarm with frogs that shall come up into your house and into your bedroom and on your bed and into the houses of your servants and your people and into your ovens and your kneading bowls."
It's a lot of frogs.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, and they're fucking everywhere.
That sounds like a threat.
Yeah.
think-
That's
the
like
frogs.
direct.
This is
Yeah,
This is still a quote. This is what
there's
God
a flaw
wants
here.
Moses to say to Pharaoh.
There's flaw. Big flaw. See, there's no water for all those frogs.
What are you talking about?
Where are all these frogs going to come from? You killed all the water sources.
Well, no, you can
They're
just make
escaping
Frogs. He's
he's
God.
God.
He
He
can
can
just
just make
like
frogs.
shower frogs from the sky.
Yeah, and that's perfectly normal.
Somebody animate in frogs just flying out of my hands. Thanks.
Wow. Okay. I don't think we're nearly popular enough to ask people to just
No,
randomly
but
do
like
animations.
if we had Aaron here as a tech guy, we could have done that.
Anyways, the frogs shall come up on you and on your people and all of your servants. And the Lord said to Moses, say to Aaron, stretch out your hand with your staff over the rivers, over the canals, and over the pools, and make frogs come up on the land of Egypt. So Aaron stretched out his hand over the waters of Egypt, and the frogs came up and covered the land of Egypt. But the magicians did the same by their secret arts, and made frogs come up on the land of Egypt.
Wait,
So they're just making more. They're just creating more problems just to show that they can do the same thing.
yeah,
Poof.
this is not productive for the Egyptians.
It's really not. It's like you shoot yourself in the foot, and then the other guy's like, I can shoot myself in the foot too.
Bang! Ha!
Gotcha.
I did it way better than he did. This one-upsmanship is petty.
They're just making everything worse.
Yeah.
Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, plead with the Lord to take away the frogs from me and from my people, and I will let the people go to sacrifice to the Lord. Moses said to Pharaoh, be pleased to command me when I am to plead for you and for your servants and for your people, that the frogs be cut off from you and your houses and be left only in the Nile. And he said, tomorrow. Moses said, be it as you say, so that you may know that there is no one like the Lord our God. The frogs shall go away from you and your houses and your servants and your people. They shall be left only in the Nile. So Moses and Aaron went out from Pharaoh, and Moses cried to the Lord about the frogs, as he had agreed with Pharaoh. And the Lord did according to the word of Moses, because he couldn't have known any other way, right?
Well, he's taking a nap.
The frogs died. Wait, did it say the frogs died?
Yeah, frogs died.
Okay. Frogs died out in the houses, the courtyards, and the fields, and they gathered them together in heaps, and the land stank. But when Pharaoh saw that there was a respite, he hardened his heart and would not listen to them, as the Lord had said. Wait, what?
So basically, it's like he says all the frogs will be gone,
Yeah.
and then all the frogs die,
But now it
and
stinks.
and
fried
it
frogs.
stinks because there's dead frogs everywhere.
So he goes back on his word.
Yeah,
Okay. This still all seems like God's fault.
this is God's fault.
It says in mine, as the Lord had spoken.
Yeah.
So like,
As the Lord had said.
you know, he's pretty much, God's like, hey, this land stinks, and it's all Moses' fault. You should make him work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's saying that. I think it's,
No, I mean God's speaking to him, literally like hardening his heart.
No, but it's as the Lord had said. So it's like
Now it's
God said his
Okay.
heart would be hardened. So
Thanks, God.
yeah. Now on to plague number 3.
No way.
Yeah.
Mine goes on. 8 goes on a lot longer.
Yeah,
I'm still
it's-
on
it's
8,
still
but
8.
it's the 3rd plague.
No way. They can't have more than one plague in a chapter.
There are 10 plagues. We're doing 5 chapters. What the fuck is wrong with you?
How many are in
are
one?
you okay, Chris?
There was only one in his.
Yeah,
Yeah, and this one has more than one.
Is the next one gonna have 3?
maybe.
Chris, shut the fuck up and
Well,
listen.
it's not like I want to know how many are in each.
Doesn't matter. There are 10 in total.
Ah, so useful.
Look, you'll figure it out by the end of the broadcast.
That's
Yeah.
a good point. We'll have a score for it at the end.
a
No,
score.
we won't.
Yeah, plagues per chapter.
That's not a score.
Yeah.
It's a count.
Yeah, we'll have a count.
Account.
Does it sound as exciting when you say count?
No,
That
it doesn't sound exciting
Is the
at
score
all.
exciting?
Not when it is applied to Bible garbage. Yeah.
Why?
Please continue.
I'm questioning my life choices. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Say to Aaron, stretch out your staff." And why can't God just talk to Aaron?
Hold up. So Aaron's got all this power, and Moses is imagining this dude, and like he's got problems. Moses is hallucinating all the time and commanding this guy with sorcerer powers what to do.
He's telling his brother
How to do the magic and
Yeah.
shit.
I think that Aaron just got all this power though, because Moses can't do
does.
it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's in the staff. I
You
don't
know what
know.
I find really weird is in like the Moses biblical like illustrations, or like in the even the cartoons or the movies, they've got Moses doing all this stuff, not Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if they actually did this according to how the Bible was, Moses
it
would be a sniveling little bitch who just told Aaron what to do, because
Yeah.
Moses, according to
He'd be
this,
the messenger.
right? Moses doesn't like to talk to crowds and isn't good with crowds. So like, what does that mean
At
to
least
you?
at least not yet.
Okay, right. So he's not charismatic at this point. So if they ever had a real like movie about it, it would look totally different than
Yeah.
anything we've seen. You should probably do a real Moses movie,
All right, that's our next project, the Moses movie.
the real Moses
Right
movie,
after the trial and death of Socrates movie.
perhaps.
Yes.
Perhaps.
And remember, when we get a 500 a month on Patreon, that's going to be our thing. We're going to make a movie. So, you know,
Yeah.
if you want to see that movie, consider. All right. Say to Aaron, stretch out your staff and strike the dust of the earth, so that it may become gnats in all the land of Egypt. And they did so. It's not and they did so, it's just Aaron did so. Aaron stretched out his hand with his staff and struck the dust of the earth, and there were gnats on man and beast. All the dust of the earth became gnats in the land of Egypt.
Okay,
Mine
that's
says lice.
Weird. Those are very different things.
Yeah, those are not the same
Yeah.
animal.
not even close.
The magicians tried by their secret arts to produce gnats, but they could not. So there were
They didn't have any secret arts to make gnats?
No, so there were gnats on man and beast. Then the magicians said to Pharaoh, "This is the finger of God." But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he would not listen to them, as the Lord had said.
So only God can make gnats. Let it be known. You can't fake gnats. That's the work of God. Everything else can be redone until this point. Weird. I don't know why that's the definitive one.
Well, let's continue.
Okay.
Plague number 4.
Jesus.
Then the Lord said to Moses, "Rise up early in the morning and present yourself to Pharaoh as he goes out to the water, and say to him, 'Thus says the Lord, let my people go, that they may serve me. Or else, if you will not let my people go, behold, I will send swarms of flies on you and your servants.'"
Like the
and-
Amityville Horror.
Maybe.
You've seen that, right?
No.
Oh, well, you're familiar with, like, the house being possessed and the swarms of flies thing.
Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's very popular.
Okay.
It's non-fiction, Lawrence.
What?
Oh, you know, the Amityville Horror was based on a true story.
Oh, okay. Like so many movies that are definitely not
Hey,
nonfiction.
hey, there were real ghosts there.
Yeah, whatever.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, I could believe
No.
that.
I believe it.
And into your houses, and the houses of the Egyptians shall be filled with swarms of flies, and also the ground on which they stand. But on that day I will set apart the land of Goshen, where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there. So
They're
Hold on.
still in Goshen
Hold on.
from Joshua.
Oh, we gotta stop here for a second. He didn't give a shit about Goshen for the past few plagues?
That's what I was thinking.
Right?
Like the plagues went to every place.
Everybody.
But now it's like, except for this.
Yeah.
That's exactly.
Man, he's an oblivious God.
Yeah, he's like, ooh,
Ooh, I forgot about my chosen people. Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Well, I'm
Again.
sure they're very impressed by his plagues.
The Old Testament is just a comedy of God's biggest blunders.
Oh, we
Yeah.
could just have the technical difficulties song going on,
Yeah.
and like an animation of God like trying to balance on a ball, almost falling off or something. It's like, whoa, man! A series of technical blunders on God's behalf. Here they are.
Well, here they are.
Where my people dwell, so that no swarms of flies shall be there, that you may know that I am the Lord in the midst of the earth. Thus I will put a division between my people and your people. Tomorrow this sign shall happen. And the Lord did so. There came great swarms of flies into the house of Pharaoh and into his servants' houses. Throughout all the land of Egypt, the land was ruined by the swarms of flies.
Well, that's fun.
Yes, it's a lot of fun. Then Pharaoh called Moses and Aaron and said, "Go, sacrifice to your God within the land." But Moses said, "It would not be right to do so, for the offerings we shall sacrifice to the Lord our God are an abomination to the Egyptians. If we sacrifice offerings abominable to the Egyptians before their eyes, will they not stone us? We must go 3 days' journey into the wilderness and sacrifice to the Lord our God as he tells us." You know,
So
he said here, go sacrifice. Oh, he said, yeah, within the land. Okay, never mind. Go on.
Okay, so up until this point, this could all be explained naturally, right? Someone poisons the water. All the fish die.
All the frogs crawl out.
Amphibians crawl out. They die. Then their bodies rot, and all
gnats
these
and the flies.
gnats and flies start showing up and infesting the land.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And after this,
Because there's no fucking cleanup crew, apparently.
Right.
did you see how many frogs there were
Okay, there were
in
a
the
lot,
Nile?
but if this was...
All of it.
But if they wrote it based on, some shit that was going down, like not like a plague, but, just some shit that was going down, if they based it off that, there probably wouldn't have been that many frogs.
Mm.
They probably could have handled it. They were probably like, this is a lot of dead frogs.
This was the one time when there were too many frogs. I'm sure that's happened.
Fucking cleanup crews.
Don't exist back then. This is
Sure they do.
This is at a period when frogs easily outpopulate humans.
You could still clean them up.
Actually, I could still
How
say
could you-
frogs might outpopulate humans. I'm not sure. Probably not anymore.
I have no
There are
idea.
a lot of frogs.
There are a lot of frogs.
There are a lot of
Alright.
people
let's
too.
just not judge how many frogs there are.
We
Whatever.
should go to war with the frogs. I bet we'd win.
I believe humans and fish can coexist
Oh, thank
peacefully.
you, President
Thanks,
George
W.
Bush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome.
All right, so we're almost done with all these
Continue
things.
on.
Where the fuck was I? Okay.
24.
So Pharaoh said, "I will let you go to sacrifice to the Lord your God in the wilderness, only you must not go very far away. Plead for me." Then Moses said, "Behold, I am going out from you, and I will plead with the Lord." Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Good
Nice.
job.
That was probably incredibly loud in the mic.
No.
I bet.
It probably was.
Did you sneeze right into the mic or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you did. I bet.
Then Moses said, "Behold, I am going out from you, and I will plead with the Lord that the swarms of flies may depart from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people tomorrow. Only let not Pharaoh cheat again by not letting the people go to sacrifice the Lord." So Moses went out from Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord, and the Lord did as Moses asked, and removed the swarms of flies from Pharaoh, from his servants, and from his people. Not one remained. But Pharaoh hardened his heart this time also, and
Why?
did not let the people go. Now this one doesn't even have an explanation.
He's just like, no.
No, because God said before he was going to harden his heart. That probably doesn't mean only once.
Just gonna keep doing it. That
Yeah.
guy's got a real crusty heart now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have a heart attack. Like, all of his arteries are probably, like, clogged up at this point.
Man, I love those clogged arteries.
He's gotta watch his cholesterol. Should eat Honey Nut Cheerios.
As not proven.
Hey, it
To
said
be a-
so in...
Yeah, they lied.
Hey, they
They
can...
lied. They
Would
got
someone
sued.
really go on
got
TV
sued.
You can't
and
lie. It's
lie?
a commercial.
They
you
sued.
can't
They were
lie.
sued for that. because-
Nobody lies in commercials.
Because it
I
hasn't
refuse
been
to believe
shown
it.
to do anything particularly good for your heart. It just has been shown to not do anything particularly bad, which apparently, in their eyes, was heart healthy.
Yeah.
And they thought they could advertise that way.
Hey, you can lower your cholesterol just by eating Honey Nut Cheerios.
Yes.
If you're not eating anything else, right?
You know what's really good? Those honey nut clusters. Have you guys ever had those?
Yeah.
They're a lot better than
I thought they were good.
Cheerios.
Yeah.
Yeah, like by miles.
Huh. All right, so we're on to
I
9.
like honeycomb.
Yes.
Honeycomb's okay, but I get sick of them pretty quick.
I'm just a heathen.
I like them.
I don't think I've ever had them.
You've never had honeycomb?
That's
I don't think so.
depressing.
Oh, they have a really weird mascot.
Yeah, I think they just stopped using that in advertisement overall like a few years ago because of how creepy it was.
Yeah.
They also made it so that other people turned into them and it was like
It was
contagious.
terrifying.
It was terrifying.
I miss the old honeycomb mascot.
I don't.
Yeah, well,
Who is the old honeycomb mascot?
Don't look it up.
I'll just show you later.
Look it up.
It'll freak you out, man.
Will it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honeycomb pig. He was just the freaky thing yelled at all the time or whatever.
Mm.
Anyways, we're on
Yes.
number
Chapter
Number
9.
nine.
chapter 9.
That's all you,
Thanks.
Christopher.
Then the Lord said unto Moses, Go unto Pharaoh and tell him, Thus saith the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let me go, I will hold them still. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thine cattle, which are in the fields, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the herds, and upon the flocks. There shall be a very grievous, what's that?
Moraine. Moraine. That's
What does yours say, Lawrence? Does yours say moraine as well?
No. There says there will fall a very severe plague.
I think it means sickness.
Moraine. I think so too, but I have not heard that before. And the Lord shall make...
Hold on, this is the first time that it actually refers to them as being plagues. Right? Because I don't think they called them plagues before.
Mine calls it a moraine. They were just saying
Right.
magic before.
Sorcery.
Yeah.
Fucking wizards.
Come on, man.
Fucking wizards.
It's a good show for all you guys watching. The Magicians.
Yes, we did all
It's pretty
watch
good.
that. I would say...
It's all magic.
I'd give it an 8.75 out of 11 and a half. So that it doesn't, you can't really get a good scale out of how much I actually liked it. It was pretty good though.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Anyways,
Okay, keep going.
thanks.
Make sure you guys drop a like on the video if you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lord shall make a division between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt, because last time he was indiscriminate. And there shall be nothing, and there shall nothing die of all that belongeth to the children of Israel. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying tomorrow, which is with a dash in it for some reason. The Lord shall do the thing in the land. Seriously, it's that vague?
That is really vague.
We'll do this thing in the land.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Lord did
But the Lord
that thing.
the Lord appointed a set time, saying, Tomorrow
I'm gonna do this
I'm
thing.
gonna do this thing.
And then he did the thing.
So the sentence doesn't tell us anything. It's just like there is a set time. We won't tell you what time it is.
Guys, why do I get the absolute
The set
dumbest
time is tomorrow.
possible
Yeah.
passages? Like, this is infuriating. This is the vaguest possible bullshit. All right. Okay. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died, but of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. And Pharaoh sent, and behold, there was not so much as one of the cattle of the Israelites dead.
Wait.
Yes, yeah.
I think I fucked up on something.
You fucked up on something.
There's one more plague that we're not covering, but chapter 11 is a warning or a threatening of the plague, and then it goes to the Passover, and then it's the last plague.
Are you telling me?
Fuck it, we'll do that later when we get to the Passover.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's a
It
fun
fits
plague
more in that-
anyway.
yeah, it fits more
Okay.
with that narrative.
So we've got 9 plagues
Yeah.
over 5 chapters. See, I was very fucking skeptical of your statement that we had 10 plagues in these chapters. I was really skeptical of it. That's why I was interrogating you earlier
No,
over
it
which
wasn't.
was
You
shut
damn
up.
well know that's not why.
I'm curious. All right, whatever.
Anyways, Chris, carry on.
All right, I am. I think I am at somewhere between
6?
7. I'm in 7. But the heart of the Pharaoh was stubborn, and he did not let the people go. And the Lord said unto Moses and unto Aaron, hey, he's actually talking to Aaron now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's new.
Dude, what? All right, my
About
theories.
time.
My theories, throw them out. Take to you handfuls of soot of the furnace, and let Moses throw it heavenward in the sight of Pharaoh. Throw ash in the air, and it shall become small dust over all the land of Egypt, and shall be a boil breaking forth with pains upon the man and upon the beast. So it's like literally a sickness,
Yeah,
like
boils.
smallpox. Or
Literal
something.
boils.
Literal boils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait, hold on. Take handfuls of soot from the kiln and let Moses throw them in the air in the sight of Pharaoh. So is this a spell? Are they telling us how to do a spell here?
So the magic
I'm gonna
spell
cast a
is that you
spell.
take soot from the furnace,
Yeah.
you throw it in the air,
Heavenward.
heavenward.
Yeah.
It spreads across the entire land of Egypt, and everyone breaks out into terrible boils.
Yeah.
And beasts.
And beasts.
Beasts, man and beasts too.
Yeah. Let's do
Jeez.
that spell.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
We gotta go to Egypt, though.
Yeah, it probably only works in Egypt.
And before
Well, they're
Pharaoh.
outlawing atheism there.
Oh,
What?
no.
Yeah.
We
That's
can't do
so
our
stupid.
atheist
How do you-
magic.
That's literal thought crime.
It is literal thought crime. Welcome to 1984, Egypt style.
Jeez. All right, so we're at 10. And they took soot of the furnace and stood before Pharaoh, and Moses threw it heavenward, and it became a boil breaking forth with bombs upon the man and beast. And the magicians could not stand before Moses because of the boils. What, they had to sit down?
They were just in pain.
They're
on the
in too
ground.
much pain.
Oh, they couldn't even come forth.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
couldn't stand before him. Got it. For the boils were upon the magicians and upon all the Egyptians, and the Lord hardened the heart of Pharaoh. Dude, like, what is it? Granite at this point? And
It's almost a fucking diamond.
check out that mineral video to see how hard things can get. No, that doesn't help. That doesn't actually help, and that video
No.
tells you nothing
No, it
about
doesn't.
it. Don't look at it. It's not worth it. All right. Let's see. Moses. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah.
You're on 12.
Yeah, I'm in 12, I think.
Yeah.
And he hearkened not unto them again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He graded that.
So, this dude, God's a douche.
Yeah.
God is such a douche.
We gotta test the spell. Well, could you get a pharaoh
Yeah, we need a pharaoh.
and
I could
tickets
find
to
a
Egypt?
pharaoh.
And we're good then. We're
I
on
mean,
board.
maybe like Sun Ra would work.
Guys, it's just
Space
furnace
is
kindlings.
place.
Like, that's the easiest spell component ever.
And remember, guys, if you're enjoying the show,
Do
Drop
all the
a like.
things that you would.
If you want to
people
support
you
us, send in those super chats. You get a nifty little animation.
Yep, that's right. Don't forget about those cool random animations we got.
Yeah, or become a patron.
Yeah.
You get some good rewards.
We love it when you give us money. It's so good.
It is good. We want to survive.
We can
Let's go.
like afford food with that and stuff. It's great.
So anyways, and the Lord said unto Moses, Rise up early in the morning, and stand before Pharaoh, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, Let my people go, that they may serve me. For I will this time send all my plagues upon thy person, and upon thy servants, and upon thy people. This is the first time it says plagues for us here, I think.
Yeah.
That thou mayest know that there is none like me in all the earth. Surely now I had put forth my hand and smitten thee and thy people with pestilence, and thou hast been cut off from the earth. But in very deed for this cause have I made thee to stand, to show thee my power, and that my name may be declared throughout all the earth. He's like the greatest sorcerer ever, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's all you need to be.
We already compared him to all those other guys. As yet exaltedest thou thyself against my people, that thou wilt not let them go. Behold, tomorrow, about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail, such that hath not been seen in Egypt since the day it was founded, even until now. That's the craziest hailstorm.
Hail in Egypt.
Yep.
Yep.
Has that ever happened?
Sure.
Surely, at some point.
Yeah, it's hailed everywhere at some point.
Has it?
Ice Age,
Dude, like, the world's old.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, when people were calling it Egypt.
I don't know. That's a pretty short period of time.
I know it's pretty short. Has it
Maybe
ever
not.
Look, has it ever flooded everywhere and had two animals of each kind
No.
on a boat?
Not once.
All right. Has it ever wife turns to salt
No,
because she looked behind
not
her?
once.
All right. So I don't think they care if it's ever been the case that it's hailed in Egypt.
I didn't spend any money on that booze, and I already have enough money for hookah. He's the only one who makes any money off of this endeavor.
I make the most out of it, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
My videos make the most.
what his money goes to is books.
Mostly books.
Pretty much just books. So if you want to know where your hundreds of dollars have gone, it's gone towards useful research so that we can supply you with more Lawrence-based in-depth content, because it's all him. All right, moving on.
Yeah. And then Ruben. And then there's you. I think all of your videos together have made about $2.
Yeah, nice job, me.
Wow.
Well, I have all this
You've made about
stuff.
$5.
Wow.
I knew you were just kidding.
What about
I just
Atheist
thought
Sunday
everybody
School?
should know what we do.
I don't know. I haven't counted that.
Oh.
Probably should.
Nah, it's okay, buddy.
It's probably not much though.
Nah, it's okay.
Mm.
Let's see.
Well, we got some big donations.
We did.
Yeah. You haven't bought coals in forever. You really should.
I'll get Coles.
I bought a ton recently.
I'll
so
get Coles
whatever.
and I'll get some shisha.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
About time. Okay. Let's see. Where am I at? Something with hail.
Hail. Something with hail.
So like 18.
18.
Yeah. Behold, tomorrow about this time, I will cause it to rain a very grievous hail. Yes. So I'm on 19 actually. Now, therefore, hasten in thy cattle and all that thou hast in the field, for every man and every beast that shall be found in the field and shall not be brought home, the hail shall come down upon them, and they shall die.
Some pretty tough hail.
Well, it's like it's got to be big or fast. So it's like really tiny bullets or like
fucking golf balls.
I don't know, fists of God, made of ice, and a lot of
I
them.
think that'd be cool to see a bunch of like Ice fists just falling straight down.
Yeah.
Punching everything.
Sure. Cattle, it seems.
It'd be like Ultimate Muscle.
Ultimate Muscle is a great show.
Still was pretty good.
Okay.
Officially endorsed by Milwaukee Atheists.
All right.
Take that, like, fucking WB network cartoons
Yeah.
from 10 plus years ago.
Wow.
So,
Enjoy.
A ringing endorsement.
Yes. Okay. He that feared the word of the Lord among the servants of Pharaoh made his servants and his cattle flee into the houses. And he that regarded not the word of the Lord left his servants and his cattle out in the fields. So it's just a bunch of dead servants and cattle. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch forth thine hand toward the heavens, that there may be hail in all the land of Egypt, upon man, and upon beast, and upon every herb of the field throughout the land of Egypt. So I'm finding this weird that God always needs like a conduit. Like, Moses can see God and talk to God. And God always asks Moses or Aaron to do something in particular. Like there's a channel or a whatever. Nobody ever directly interacts with him other than these select people. That's what's really weird.
Well, yeah, because they're
his chosen people.
well, no, it's
And also it's just 2 people. But
it's because normal people couldn't comprehend him. They would just go nuts, right?
I think these guys are nuts.
potentially.
You know, this
They
guy
are nuts.
This guy like feels a cold wind on the air a few days before this happens and holds his hand up to the heavens when it starts and goes, "Look what I can do."
Look, no matter what, they are obviously nuts. I mean, they've probably killed tons of innocent Egyptians with all of their ridiculous plagues. Like, just because God whispers to you to go, like, murder everyone doesn't mean you have to do it.
No, God, I won't do it. Don't tell me what to do, God.
I am the moral arbiter. You must do it.
Yeah, and it's
I really don't feel like drinking blood for 7 days.
right.
Well, too bad. You suck.
Couldn't you at least, like, exempt us?
No.
Well, what about by, like, the 5th plague?
You sound
Could we
like a
get
bitch to me.
Come on. No.
Okay, so the Lord tells him to stretch forth thine hand towards the heavens, and here's what he does. And Moses stretched forth his rod toward the heaven. He didn't even listen. It's one line later. He's not even doing what God asks. And the Lord sent thunder and hail, and fire ran down unto the earth. And the Lord caused to hail upon the land of Egypt.
So this is Moses doing this, and Moses, he didn't even. This isn't even magic. This is just like God's all like, if you do this, I'll do this. So he does that, and then it hails, and thunderstorms or whatever, and it simulates magic, but it's not magic. It's not like the other plagues.
This is.
Well,
I'll say all of the plagues have something out of place that makes them seem like they're not really in line with each other. You know, this could have all just been bad shit that was happening.
Seems like a bunch of fiction to me.
Yeah.
so
Well, this seems like a bunch of events and trials throughout people's lives.
It
Like there
might
was
have
once a plague. One time I remember all the toads left and died. You remember that time that everybody got fleas? That
Yeah,
sucked.
that sucked.
Yeah, I think everyone would remember that.
yeah, well, they wrote it down, right?
Right, exactly. Anyways, so there was hail and fire, blah, blah, blah. And the hail smote throughout all the land of Egypt, and all that was in the field, both men and beasts. And the hail smote every herb of the field, and broke every tree of the field. Only in the land of Goshen, where the children of Israel were, was there no hail.
Well, it's not just hail either. It's
Yeah.
like hail and fire intermingled.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
Fucking
that's
thunder and shit.
terrible.
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that?
And everything got destroyed. The plants apparently died.
Of course.
And the
there's
fucking-
Have you seen what normal hail does? Imagine flaming hail.
And I know how grass types are against fire.
Yeah.
Or ice.
Are grass types weak to ice?
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah,
Grass
they
are good against water.
Yeah,
Right.
this would
But
just.
they're weak against ice.
I
And
didn't know they were weak against
they're
ice.
also
Yeah.
weak against.
I guess I just never use ice Pokemon.
They're also weak against fire, and they're also.
Right.
I'm pretty sure. What was the other thing? Lightning? Are they weak to? Are they weak to electric too?
No.
I think.
I don't think so.
they're neutral.
No, Pokemon did not take that much inspiration
From the Bible.
The Bible.
No, they took more from like alchemy or like the elements, the concept of the elements.
Well, yeah,
Yeah, that's what they did.
that's directly
What they did.
That's exactly what they did.
Not from God.
No. It is
So
not
that's why.
Kabbalah.
That's why religious folk don't like Pokemon.
No, they don't like it because evolution. Even though that's not how evolution works.
It's not even evolution. That's
I-
transformation.
Wait,
They-
no,
right.
that is
Or
evolution.
metamorphosis. It could be. It's literally metamorphosis.
You should just rename
Yeah, but
all of
they
your
call it
Pokemon
evolution.
Kafka.
What?
Franz Kafka.
What?
That's bad.
I don't get that.
You're bad.
No, I'm not.
It's not a good joke.
It's a good joke.
You know what's a
Finish.
shitty Pokemon? Klefki.
You know what's a shitty Pokemon? That ice cream Pokemon.
I agree.
You know what's the shittiest Pokemon? Skidoo.
Skidoo, that's right, Skidoo.
Is a
Oh,
real
yeah.
Pokemon.
Oh, there's
Look it
one.
up.
There's one called Spoink.
Yeah,
and
I like
Spoink is
Spoink.
good.
Spoink is
No,
good.
it has to always be bouncing
Or it'll die.
or dies.
Yeah.
That's like the most miserable existence.
I don't know. There's one that's a balloon Pokemon and
Driftloon?
Driftloon, and its lore is that it drags happy children off into the wilderness who then die and become a Driftloon.
Well, there's Spiritomb, which is
Yeah.
literally just like a bunch of ghosts of dead Pokemon thrown together.
Yeah.
Jesus could be a Pokemon. What would he be? That was a question.
Jesus would be.
He'd be a fairy.
He would be a fairy
He'd be a
type.
Freaking
Definitely.
fairy type.
Fairy psychic, probably.
Fairy.
He'd be a
Steel.
Clefairy.
He would be a Clefairy. He would never make it to Clefable.
Never make it to Clefable. What about a Cleffa? Could he just be a Cleffa? Or
No,
whatever? What's the
no.
lowest tier form?
No, we skipped over that. Like, we skip over Ash's Pikachu being a Pichu.
Yeah.
We don't care about that part.
Yeah, why are there a lot of wild Pikachus, but Pichu just doesn't show up anywhere?
You need to breed them.
You need to breed
I
them.
get that, but what is the serious question? What is the point of unevolved Pokemon other than to make people like that evolution chain a little more because it has an adorable Pokemon at the beginning
I
now?
don't know.
Is it
Why are we talking about Pokemon?
is it to make chibi versions of already cute Pokemon? Serious question.
Sure.
I feel like that's all it was done for.
Maybe.
Okay,
I
we're almost
guess.
done with the plagues
Okay.
parts that we're doing.
No, we're not.
That I'm doing.
No, you're doing, yeah.
Okay. And Pharaoh sent and called for Moses and Aaron and said unto them, I have sinned this time. Well, yeah, okay. The Lord is righteous, and I and my people are wicked. Entreat the Lord, and let there be enough of this mighty thunderings and hail. And I will let you go, and ye shall stay no longer. And Moses said unto them, As soon as I am gone out of the city, I will spread forth my hands unto the Lord, and the thunders shall cease, neither shall there be any more hail, that thou mayest know that the earth is the Lord's. But as for thee and thy servants, I know that ye will not yet fear the Lord. And the flax and the barley were smitten, and the barley was in the ear, and the flax was in the bloom. So it means it was ready
What
to
the fuck
keep
is
it.
flax?
It's a type of grain.
Is it?
Yes.
It can
barley
be-
and flax and wheat and all that are made.
Flax can be used to make various kinds of rope.
Oh, okay.
It's also oil that is in a lot of healthy food. You could go to like a health store and get flaxseed
flax
oil.
right? Okay, yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
that.
yeah, you have. Exactly.
Okay.
Anyway, so apparently all the flax and barley were smitten in their prime. but the wheat and the what? Splet? S-P-E-L-T?
Mine says emmer.
Emmer?
Yeah, it just says a type of wheat.
Mine says splet.
Where?
I'm at 32. But the wheat...
But the wheat and the rye.
Yours says rye. Look, seriously, mine says splet.
And mine says
S-P-E-L-T. What the heck is
So
splet?
it's just a type
The
of
spelt.
wheat.
That spells spelt,
Oh.
Chris.
And the spelt? We're not spitting. That still doesn't help. That's why I'm so...
It's a
Why
type
would you
of
think
wheat.
Splet sounds
E-L would produce le instead of L?
I don't know, because he's dumb. Anyways...
Because he has dyslexia.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's way worse than dyslexia. Anyways, for they ripen late. And Moses went out of the city from Pharaoh and spread forth his hands unto the Lord, and the thunders and hail ceased, and the rain was not poured upon the earth. And when Pharaoh saw that the rain and the hail and the thunders were ceased, he sinned yet more and hardened his heart. Oh, good job, buddy.
Oh, this time God didn't harden his heart.
No, he did it.
hardened
He
his
did
heart.
it.
Yeah, it says that he did that before too.
Yeah.
It's
in
food.
chapter eight.
Yes, thank you. I got that. I just think it's weird.
Yeah.
Splat.
Spelt. Splet sounds
Splet.
Splet sounds more like food than spelt.
Keep
No.
reading.
Where am I?
You're at the last verse in the chapter.
Yeah.
34?
35.
35.
Oh, jeez, that's great. And the heart of Pharaoh was hardened. Yes, okay. And he did not let the children of Israel go, as the Lord had spoken by Moses.
Wow.
Great.
You know who's a great guy?
Aaron?
King Ramses.
Hey guys,
Which
go
one?
easy on Chris. No,
The
if
man
they
of
don't
God.
go easy on me, I'll just stop caring.
Man in Gauze.
The man in gauze?
Yeah. King Ramses.
He doesn't get the reference.
I don't.
You need to watch more.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that show in a long time.
Well, you haven't seen anything.
Okay.
Ever.
All right.
You're blind.
Yep.
Congratulations.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
That's what's making all this reading so difficult.
Yep. You can only do it because I'm Jesus, and I can temporarily cure your blindness for the sake of reading the Bible.
Wow.
You're like one of those.
What a depressing life that would be.
You're
Yeah.
like one of those blind moth priests who live and die by the crazy scrolls that tell them what to do and whether or not they get to see things or not. Except he's that instead of having a scroll.
Say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
Ah, you're welcome.
All right. So
All right.
we could take a break, but I think this isn't much longer, honestly. 11's pretty short, 10's not super long.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got this.
We got this.
All right.
Who needs a break?
Who needs
So,
a break? I know we've been on for an hour.
Chapter 10. And the Lord said unto Moses, Go in unto Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart, and the heart of his servants, that I might show these my signs before him. And that thou mayest tell in the ears of thy son and of thy son's son what things I have wrought in Egypt, and my signs which I have done among them, that ye may know that I am the Lord.
So he's like, this is a stop sign. This is a yield sign. This is like
No, Chris, not literal
crosswalk
street
sign,
signs.
speed limit sign. These are the signs of the Lord. He's teaching them. There's got to be a lesson in here. Come on, I'm not sure what I'm learning
Continue.
anymore.
And Moses and Aaron came in unto the Pharaoh and said unto him, Thus saith the Lord God of the
Done,
Hebrews, How long wilt thou refuse to humble thyself before me? Let my people go that they may serve me. Else, if thou refuse to let my people go, behold, tomorrow will I bring the locusts unto thy coast, and they shall cover the face of the earth, that one cannot be able to see the earth. And they shall eat the residue of that which is escaped, which remaineth unto you from the hail, and shall eat every tree which groweth for you out of the field.
Hey, you remember that one time all the trees got destroyed by hail and
Yeah.
they rotted and the locusts came and ate the
And
rest?
everything died. Like,
Like, this is...
Everything has died several times over in Egypt by now. This is ridiculous.
You guys wonder why it's a desert? Do you think it was always a barren desert? No, like, it had its river.
It used to be a utopia.
Yeah, it was like Garden of Eden plus. It even had, like, a massage booth.
What?
Instead of, like, a normal membership in the Garden of Eden. I don't know. I have a terrible sense of humor.
Yeah, you do. Okay. 6. And they shall fill thy houses, and the houses of all thy servants, and the houses of all the Egyptians, which neither thy fathers nor thy fathers' fathers have seen, since the day that they were turned upon the earth unto this day. And he turned himself and went out from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh's servants said unto him, How long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Lord their God.
Wait. This is weird. So Moses left before getting Pharaoh's answer.
No, Moses leaves and he's just like, either we're leaving or these locusts are coming.
Right, but he left after saying that, but then he didn't hear Pharaoh's response to that.
Right. Well, he knows he's not gonna, he's just informing him that there's going to be locusts, basically. And Pharaoh's servants said unto him, How long shall this man be a snare unto us? Let the men go, that they may serve the Lord their God. Knowest thou not yet that Egypt is destroyed?
Like, come on!
And Moses and Aaron were brought again unto Pharaoh, and he said unto them, Go, serve the Lord your God. But who are they that shall go? And Moses said, We will go with our young and with our old, with our sons, with our daughters, with our flocks and our herds will we go, for we must hold a feast unto the Lord. And he said unto them, Let the Lord be so with you, as I will let you go, and your little ones. Look to it, for evil is before you. Not so. Go now, ye that are men, and serve the Lord, for that ye did desire. And they were driven out from Pharaoh's presence. And the Lord said unto Moses, Stretch out thine hand over the lands of Egypt for the locusts, that it may come upon the land of Egypt, and eat every herb of the land, even all that the hail hath left. And Moses stretched forth his rod over the land of Egypt, and the Lord brought an east wind upon the land all that day, and all that night. And when it was morning, the east wind brought the locusts. And the locusts went up over all the land of Egypt, and rested on the coast of Egypt. Very grievous were they. Before them there were no such locusts as they, neither after them shall be such. For they covered the face of the whole earth, so that the land was darkened. And they did eat every herb of the land, and all the fruit of the trees which the hail had left. And there remained not any green thing in the trees, or in the herbs of the field, through all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh called for Moses and Aaron in haste, and he said, I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Now therefore forgive, I pray thee, my sin only this once, and entreat the Lord your God, that he may take away from me this death only. And he went out from Pharaoh and entreated the Lord. And the Lord turned a mighty strong west wind, which took away the locusts, and cast them into the Red Sea. There remained not one locust in all the coast of Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, so that he would not let the children of Israel go.
Holy shit.
What a douche.
This fucking guy.
He's getting played
This
like the puppet.
fucking
He
guy.
is. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Talk about free will. My ass.
You know, he's even willing to do it. He's like, please, just make it stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like everything's dead.
Like, this is some
Stop.
Job level stuff. Like, Pharaoh's suffering.
Yeah.
Everybody's suffering. This is terrible.
And God's like, no, I need to assert my dominance.
I'm God.
Hey, you guys aren't afraid of me. Yeah, we are. Not afraid enough.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's like a bad boyfriend.
you would know.
Really abusive.
Okay.
Is what I hear from my lady friends.
Yes, from the girls.
Yes.
He's got him.
Okay. Oh man.
Now we are on to the 9th plague.
So
And
the Lord
remember-
hardened Pharaoh's heart,
And remember to drop a like on the video if you're enjoying it.
and share it with your extended family and people who you like meet on the street, and even people who you don't even know.
Remember, there is no inappropriate place to reshare this or post it. Or tell someone about it. There's no inappropriate
No
time.
inappropriate time.
Every time that could be an appropriate time to discuss this and what we're doing
When-
is an appropriate
When
time.
somebody announces funeral preparations,
You go, what about Atheist Sunday
you
School?
send the link.
Yeah, like, what about Atheist Sunday School?
Also, behold t-shirts.
Yes,
Behold,
they
t-shirts.
exist.
Yes. It has a picture of my terrible face on it.
And the words,
And
and
behold.
wonderful texts and cool imagery, behold,
Yes.
It's so nifty and cool.
that you have
All
to
the
buy
kids
one.
at the arcade are going to be wearing it soon, so you should get one now.
Dude, I want to go to an arcade.
Of course you do.
There aren't any cool ones around.
I know.
Like a VR one.
There's
or
like one
something.
like far away from here.
Where?
In like Oak Creek.
Is it a VR thing?
I don't think so.
Well, then fuck that. I mean, like, our modern arcades, like, where you could do a
Go
bunch
to
of...
Japan.
Yeah, I know. Well, we're not there.
Yeah, you're right. That's why I told you to go there, because you're not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I said that, like, it's hard.
I wouldn't
was
say
just
go
saying
to
it's
Japan
hard.
if you were in Japan. I would say you're in Japan.
Hey, let's all go to my house, you guys.
Exactly.
is
Don't tell me
Totally.
what I can't say. All right, thanks.
Yes.
I believe you should continue.
And if
Ninth
anyone wants the address of Chris's
Quiet
house,
you. Secret.
So you can harass him.
It's all
So
done
you
at
can
Lawrence's
harass
house.
him.
Don't listen to him. They'll never know.
feel free to order us hundreds of pizzas if you pay for it in advance.
Yeah, I don't care about that.
I don't even care if you put a bomb in it.
I would probably
Are
care.
we doing anything on Atlantis?
We could
When?
maybe
Why?
do something about it.
That could be the
Maybe?
next special.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know.
gone.
I don't know much about Atlantis.
It could be
Well-
a 30-second special where we were talking about how it's like Atlantis, the mythical city of blah blah blah, and they're like, it's gone.
Well, that's what it would be if Chris was in charge.
Right.
It would be a 30-second thing.
Right.
But I mean, I mentioned Plato's dialogues where he talks about the fate of Atlantis. They were a very advanced people.
And fucking who was it? Homer talks about Atlantis, right?
Does Homer talk about Atlantis?
I think
He does.
Mm.
Or it was in the Odyssey or the Iliad. I wasn't
Yeah,
sure.
one of those.
One of those. Anyways,
It was really there. We have plenty of evidence to show that cities have sunk before,
Yes.
and that
Yeah.
island nations have sunk before. Atlantis is just one example.
There's nothing special about it, though.
Atlantis
Even if-
itself.
I don't even know if it existed or not, but if it did, it's nothing special.
it's underneath Atlanta.
You're stupid. You're
Okay.
stop being stupid.
Yeah, you're stupid. But no,
Watch me be
it
right.
might not have even been like a real place called Atlantis, but
Right.
I mean, it's a convenient story to tell people, hey, maybe don't build your nation on a place that's gonna get easily flooded and destroyed, right?
Good call.
Yeah.
A message to all of you people who are prone to building dikes. Watch out for that water.
Yep. So, Lord hardened the Pharaoh's heart so that he would not let the children of Israel go. And the Lord said unto Moses, stretch out thine hand towards heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, even darkness which may be felt.
Oh.
And Moses stretched
Chilling.
forth his hand
Hold on.
toward heaven.
At this point, all we know is that light is good. Darkness
Maybe
is like
felt.
the complete opposite of that, and
You're right.
it's like feel evil. This is like,
Yes. Wasn't there that one?
why is he doing this?
it's terrifying.
Wasn't there that one story in Genesis where there was like not really a beast in the darkness, but like the darkness was like sentient or something.
Yeah, there was some evidence of that at one point.
Yeah, like there was like one verse or something.
Yeah, there was that spirit thing.
Yeah.
That showed up.
Yeah.
Oh, we were gonna look into it, and
Right.
we should really do that.
We really should.
Whatever that thing was, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was just like, I think of that like, you've got your Bible movies, right? And you can have like, Moses doing whatever, but then out of nowhere there's just like the shadow demon that pops up and then runs away, and it's never brought up again.
And it's like, what the fuck was that about? I want to know more about that shadow demon.
Well, here it is, back.
No, it's not.
It's it exactly. I believe it now.
Yep.
Let's
Yep.
continue talking about
So,
darkness.
darkness which could be felt. And Moses stretched forth his hand toward heaven, and there was a thick darkness in all the land of Egypt 3 days. They saw not one another, neither rose any from his place for 3 days. But all the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And Pharaoh called Moses and said, Go ye, serve the Lord, only let your flocks and your herds be stayed. Let your little ones also go with you. And Moses said, Thou must give us also sacrifices.
What's
and,
left?
And burnt offerings,
Of what?
that we may sacrifice unto the Lord our God.
Hey, you know that charred landscape with nothing left in
And
it?
you know all those
Go
dead
get
animals?
stuff out of it. Yeah, go get offerings and sacrifices for us to burn
It
from
said,
all this garbage.
Our cattle also shall go with us. There shall not a hoof be left behind, for thereof must we take to serve the Lord our God. And we know not with what we must serve the Lord until we come thither. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and would not let them go. And Pharaoh said
What
unto
a
him,
dick.
Yeah. Get thee from me, take heed to thyself, see my face no more. For in that day thou seest my face, thou shalt die. And Moses said, Thou hast spoken well, I will see thy face again no more.
Da-da.
So literally Pharaoh's just like,
I'll kill you.
if I ever see you again, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Now, on to the next story. And it's not the last plague.
But it is the last story for today.
Yes.
Mhm.
The last chapter, and it's pretty short. All right.
So I thought I'd interrupt here.
Okay.
To say,
Nothing in particular.
well, that's productive.
Drop a like on the
Carry
video.
on. Yes, drop a like on the video.
Become a patron. Just buy a shirt.
Stop
do other
it.
stuff.
Buy mugs, buy shirts, send us money in PayPal, dance for us.
Yeah, send us images or videos of you dancing, and at the end of the year, we'll have a compilation of
Don't
all
do
those
that.
videos. Hopefully none of you do that, so we don't have to do this.
If you do, fuck it,
We'll
we'll
feel
make a
bad.
compilation.
We'll feel really bad that we had to do that. All right, chapter 11.
Somebody will do it.
Exodus.
I sure hope not. Okay. The Lord said to Moses, Yet one plague more I will bring upon Pharaoh and upon Egypt. Afterward, he will let you go from here. This motherfucking God. He was stopping it the whole time, and now he's just like, after this one, they'll let you go.
You know, you can only go with your puppet song, and you go,
I'm
one
getting
more,
bored.
and I'm bored, just whatever.
Afterward, he will let you go from here. When he lets you go, he will drive you away completely. It's like he said before. Speak now in the hearing of the people, that they ask every man of his neighbor and every woman of her neighbor for silver and gold jewelry. And the Lord gave the people favor in the sight of the Egyptians. Moreover, the man Moses was very great in the land of Egypt, in the sight of Pharaoh's servants and in the sight of the people. So apparently, everyone liked Moses. So Moses said, Thus says the Lord, about midnight I will... finally, a real fucking time.
No,
About
no,
midnight.
about.
about
He's just never been specific.
a
He's
more
like,
real time.
I'll come around tomorrow and
Yeah.
do the thing.
Yeah.
And then he came around tomorrow and did the thing.
Yep.
It's my new favorite. This is my favorite part. Exodus 9, best one.
Wait,
Carry
hold
on.
Yes. So Moses said, "Thus says the Lord, about midnight I will go out in the midst of Egypt, and every firstborn in the land of Egypt shall die, from the firstborn of Pharaoh who sits on his throne, even to the firstborn of the slave girl who is behind the handmill, and all the firstborn of the cattle. There shall be a great cry throughout all the land of Egypt, such as there has never been, nor ever will be again. But not a dog shall growl against any of the people of Israel, either man or beast, that you may know that the Lord makes a distinction between Egypt and Israel. All these your servants shall come down to me and bow to me, saying, Get out, you and all the people who follow you, and after that I will go out." And he went out from Pharaoh in hot anger, just his burning loins.
Yep.
Then the Lord said to Moses, "Pharaoh will not listen to you, that my wonders may be multiplied in the land of Egypt." Moses and Aaron did all these wonders before Pharaoh, and the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he did not let the people of Israel go out of his land.
Really? All that work?
What a dick.
So
gosh.
he warns, he warns Pharaoh, right? Or did God tell Moses?
Well, this is...
Well, whatever. There's another plague coming, and God made sure it would happen when he hardened Pharaoh's heart.
Yep.
Like a douche.
Good job.
Well, God's a terrible person. We can all agree.
Yes.
Yeah. Morality.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get to some comments.
Some comments.
Some questions, concerns, shit like that.
Questions pop up, Chris, is the current comment.
What?
Questions pop up, Chris. That's what it says.
Mm.
I know, but it also, there is a question here.
Okay. All right, read off that question. Because otherwise you're just sitting in silence.
Yeah. Chris.
Okay, does God ever talk about the other side of life and the real purpose of life and entering the death and what is there when you die?
Not
yet.
There is no
directly.
afterlife in the Old Testament, period.
They talk about it in the New Testament, but not that much. Surprisingly, because you can pick out a good amount of verses, some actually in the Old Testament that kind of hint at a burning furnace, whatever, when you die, but nothing really that direct. And then when it comes to the New Testament, it tells you that there is, an afterlife with a burning furnace or whatever. It's really hot. It's bad. But all the details come in from an apocryphal book, the Apocalypse of Peter. And that's still seen as authoritative. Yeah, that gives you all the details on heaven and hell.
What's the point of this stuff then? Context for why, for religion? We're talking.
Yeah, we want to understand.
What is the purpose of all these stories?
Nothing. There has never been a purpose to anything ever.
We're all nihilists.
Oh no, if they were written, then they were written for a purpose.
Right.
What is the purpose?
Oh, here, hold on.
Be-
Saw something at the beginning here.
You saw something at the beginning?
Yeah, it might have been the purpose. Hold on.
I highly doubt it was the purpose.
Well.
These authors, for the Torah, they were writing to their small audience. What are you reading? An introduction?
Yeah, Chris is trying to make a point, but he's failing.
Yeah,
miserably.
this is not useful.
Well, every book was written for a different reason. Like, what is Leviticus is a book of rules. Numbers, I forget what the fuck Numbers is about. I just know it's pretty boring.
A lot of it is supposed to be the histories of certain people.
Yeah. And like the relationships to other, different tribes.
And for the most part, it's supposed to be convenient stories to teach children about morality.
Yeah, and then later it gets into like different prophets and stuff, which every single last one of them was just a basis for the Jesus story. Like, so many parts of the Jesus story were modeled after these other prophets like Ezekiel and Joshua, especially Joshua.
Okay, so the purpose of this book,
The King James.
Bible, generically, is to
Understand God.
give you hope through these scriptures on this ultimate purpose to communicate the clear message of God to human readers. Really?
No, that was not the author's original intent.
Well,
This is written by the publishers, and you also misinterpreted that sentence.
Isn't
Chris.
that great? I had to butcher it, or it's not there, guys. You can make up any purpose you like and call it your real purpose, because that's how the universe works.
Well, Chris, there's obviously something we're referring to when we say the purpose of the book, and that's the purpose that the author of the book had in mind while writing the book.
Weren't there several authors?
Yes, there were 4 authors for the Torah.
Yeah, at least, probably dozens.
I don't know.
And I think they all
Made
had
up
their
of
own
stories
purposes.
that have been contributed to by maybe thousands of people.
I'm currently reading a book about...
Well, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm currently reading a book about the authorship of the Bible, and by the Bible, since it's a Jewish author, when he says the Bible, he just means the Torah. But it's a good read though. Like he does talk about a lot of stuff that I'm not sure historically happened. Like, he doesn't talk about the flood or anything like it historically happened, but he talks about like David and Solomon, and I don't actually know about the historicity of them.
Well, there was a temple.
Right.
I'm not sure if Solomon was the king at the time.
But yeah, but it's still a good read. I still enjoy it a lot. It's very easy to read, and it gives you a very good idea of the world that the authors lived in. And I'm still reading it, but it's good.
Yeah. So, 2 questions. Why was it so popular, and what would the average person get out of reading it?
Why was what so popular? Why was the Bible so popular?
All this shit, yeah.
Well, it became popular because Constantine became a Christian,
Yeah.
and then pretty much
Forced everybody
yeah.
on the bandwagon.
yeah.
And
And he formed Constantinople.
what can somebody nowadays get from reading it?
Well, like I said, the purpose is to teach moral lessons to children. It's just that the moral lessons that they choose to teach to children
Are a bit dated.
are things like, hey, you should just do terrible things to people over and over again until they're afraid of you.
Yeah, and
I'll show you who's God.
if you come on the floor, you should die. If you don't pull out.
You will die.
That's worse than rape,
Yeah,
according to God.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of bad morals in here. Although, hold on, what was the question again? What's the purpose?
What?
I think the
Oh, that was a question.
no, I mean, like, what's the purpose of reading it? Is that what the question was?
No, there were 2 questions that were most recent. Why was it popular, and what would the average person get from
Oh, what would
reading
the
it?
average person get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Ruben was right. Because I would say that, like, the reason I read it is because I think it's important to understand your enemy. If you know your enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles.
What the Bible is just a combination of different stories that are retold in various cultures and mythologies all the time. And the fact that they are retold suggests that maybe there is something of value to be understood about human psychology by understanding why the stories are retold over and over again.
There's that, and also, if you want to get people to convert, to your thing, it would be easier if your religion was closer to the one they already had.
It's also a really easy way to like control your population.
Yeah, super easy.
Because you don't need police or laws if
Yeah.
everyone's pious.
Yeah, you just tell them, "Gowd,"
Yeah.
and that should be enough.
Yeah. It's
For-
like
for a primitive
it's
population.
lazy morality.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, that's what I think too. I think you wouldn't get anything from it if you already had an idea of how to build your own moralities.
Exactly. And the interesting thing is when Christians are like, well, where do you get your morality from if not the Bible? And I'm like, well, you had to read the Bible and make a moral assessment. You already have a moral code, and you have read the Bible and judged it to be moral.
You guys don't have to buy the Bible.
A
It's
priori
online.
knowledge.
It's been online since there was an internet. ARPANET had a Bible in it.
There's always been the Bible.
That's been
online.
that's been option 1. Don't go out and buy a Bible. Who's recommending that? Don't fund any establishments that are formally religious unless you know 100% of their money is going to a good cause.
Unless it's
How
like
would you know that?
a cool used bookstore and you found
Yeah.
a really neat Bible.
That's right. Collector's items Bibles. I could say that would be cool. Like this is that,
Yeah,
right?
that one looks nice.
It looks nice.
and cartoony.
If you want
I like
a cool looking Bible, I mean, buy it from a bookstore. Don't buy it from a new publisher. Buy some old books. That's what we recommend.
Although, I want to say that I have 3 Bibles.
Well, yeah, they're right here.
No, not these 3, you fucking idiot. At home. Some super Christian lady gave me one because she thought it would convert me, as if I had never fucking opened one. And then another one was given to me by Dallas
Dallas,
in high school.
yes.
Yeah.
Well,
He's a Christian.
Yes, he is a Christian.
a question here is why doesn't this book contain any real truth? Or I think it's like,
It does
Hold
contain
up,
some
why
real
isn't-
truth.
why isn't it in the books, any of them? Truth in nature was that. Why isn't there any truth? Real truth in nature is what.
Yeah, like bigger stuff, you know, like germs or fucking
radiation.
yeah, like shit like that. Yeah, it's because like the authors of this book, they had no idea about this stuff.
Who cares? It's just that they didn't have the technology to see certain things. I mean, there are still things which are true in the Bible, like the sun rises.
Yeah.
True. There are people who are Jewish.
Yeah, there are people who
True.
are Jewish.
People are slaughtered
I
on
didn't-
behalf of their
Egyptians.
religions.
I'd like to say
Egyptians.
This. I didn't buy any of these though. Aha. That's
Yeah.
my get
I
around.
didn't buy any of mine.
We don't. They are given to us. I suppose here's another workaround.
Although I did
Go
buy,
to any church and ask if you can have a Bible. They'll give you one.
yeah, although
They
I
will.
I did buy
unless
the
they're really
companion.
poor.
I
guess.
did buy this companion to the Bible though,
Well, that's not a Bible.
which I know, but it's a better purchase, even though we haven't really used it that much.
This is the most popular book of all time. It
Yeah.
sold more copies than anything else that has ever been written.
Not.
Yeah,
Well, yes.
even
it
Michael
sold
Jackson's
more, right.
Shit, what was that one album of his that went fucking ridiculous after he died?
If I knew, I'd tell you.
Thriller?
Was it Thriller? Maybe even Thriller.
It's probably Thriller.
Was that an album?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I know it was a song. Okay, fuck it,
I
whatever.
haven't
It's the
delved
one. It's the
deeply
one where
into
he's like
Michael
all
Jackson
like,
lore.
"Hey, I'm cool."
Yeah, you're cool.
Yeah. So before we head off here, just remember, if you like what we do, consider supporting us on Patreon. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. We have merchandise on our store. It's all linked in the description.
There's a website. It has a forum on it.
Yes, website with a forum. You get to chat about whatever.
We like to answer more questions, and some of these questions that were asked here, you may have for specific ones of us, or you may want to have more clarification. So check out that forum on MilwaukeeAtheist.com.
Yes.
And thanks for joining us.
I was gonna say one more thing. I forgot
I
what
think
it
it was
was.
pretty fun.
What's the one last thing I was gonna say?
The last thing you were going to say.
Was and he's gonna strangle you to death.
Not that.
Oh, that's later, I
No.
guess. Sorry.
The last thing you were going to say is that we are Milwaukee Atheists, and we are the best, and you should all bow down and kiss our feet.
I don't
that's-
remember that.
Ha ha ha.
I don't remember me thinking that even.
Because
Wow.
you're a supervillain, Lawrence.
I am.
All right. Yep. Nice job this week. Excellent. Thanks again for joining
Yes,
us.
thank you for joining
Good
us.
fan
Thanks for
base.
joining.
And we'll see you again next week.
Yes, we will.